continent, 54 countries, over 2,000 languages, but united with similar interests. As news breaks, we give you in-depth analysis around Africa every Monday on Core TV News.
Over 3,000 people so far has been confirmed dead from the deadly Ebola outbreak in Africa. And of course, not just in Africa now, it has extended to other parts of the world. The United States of America have confirmed 6 cases and also 10 people have been quarantined so far. And the big question is, how much more can Ebola take? But on the show today, we'll not just be looking at the virus, we'll also be looking at the economic effect for the affected countries, because there have been lots of fears that for most of the countries suffering from the virus or suffering from the outbreak, they may suffer setback economically. We'll be looking deep and see how dangerous it might be to the economic system of these countries, and some possibly things that they can do to come out of this. And joining me is Research Chief Officer of Invest Data Consultant, Ambrose Omodion. Good to have you on the program.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, Ebola virus. Before we look at the economic effects, looks very, very scary. So far in Nigeria, it is said that there's no case right now, and we're able to, fight it. But like, it's not the same in Liberia, Sierra Leone, and some other part of the continent. In your own view, do you think Africa generally, these other countries that still have this virus, have really done well in fighting this deadly disease?
Yeah, actually, let me start from Nigeria. I would say congratulations to our Minister of Health and the Lagos State government and the federal government in general for the action they took when this outbreak came to Nigeria through the imported process of soya coming into Nigeria with the virus. But our government really stand up this virus by taking active steps, and we see that today Nigeria is free of the virus. But I'm telling you that the virus is deadly, and it is spreading. It's also affecting not only human life, economic life of many countries, which I will tell you that many African countries today, even after the outbreak, they will still be backward economically. Why? Many people will find it difficult to associate with them, either in terms of foreign investors coming in, also even within themselves. They won't be free to be as productive as they ought to be because of this virus. Not that they've been affected, it's a part of it, but people bringing investment to their country is the major issue. I'm telling you that any country that wants to survive will not depend on its own internal economic operation alone. There will be foreigners or form of direct investment or portfolio investment that will come into an economy to revive the economy. But with this outbreak, many potential foreign investors will be sitting at the fence, watching what is happening in this African country. And at last, you see that this country will now be dragging at the backward, looking as if nothing has happened. But this is a country that has potential. Look at their mining, look at their agriculture. These are countries that have, but because of this virus, I'm telling you that many foreign investors will look away from this country.
All right, now let's quickly look at the fight so far. The World Health Organization sent a letter of congratulatory message to Nigeria and, of course, our health sector. Yeah. But another fear now is not just in Africa alone. I think England, they recorded their case.
Yes.
And as well, United States of America, just some weeks ago, 6 cases were confirmed and 10 people quarantined as we speak. Now, what's the fear? Are we going to see it? Is it going to be a global phenomenon now?
Yeah, actually, the way it's going is that if the thing is in America already, it's in Europe already, it's almost a global thing. You don't need to ask a global phenomenon. All we need is let them find a way to curtail it. That is the step. Now, how can they reduce the spread of this Ebola? So that should be the next. And if World Health is almost voting about $1 billion to curtail it, to check, put some balance, to check and balance on this, that means every other country should come up en masse, invest in this, and let's see how we can control it. Fine, we might not eradicate it not entirely now, but let's know how to eliminate its spread. The only that as the thing spread is really going to affect the economical root of every country that it enters. No matter how buoyant you are, what's the entire economy? One, your attention will be diverted as a government to fight the Ebola virus. You're going to commit resources that will be channeled to development in that economy. That means that you don't now go for Ebola. That economy will remain where it is. That is why every economy that is proactive should vote all to take now to control the spread so that it will not come to the economy. That is the only thing. Now, it is spread, but all you do is, even at your entry, your seaport, your airport, let them be measured that people are being checked before they come in.
Now, there have been lots of money. The United States is bringing in so much money. The World Bank is donating so much money. How effective has this been so far?
Yes, I would say that the World Health, before they voted the money, they know that, where the most hit continent is Africa, and that is their target. And this advanced economy, emerging market is their strength because this is where they live dependent who will give them what they need. But if I see now Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone is affected, oh, now Nigeria is not among the people affected now because we're able to control it. But this country, if in terms of agriculture, output of Sierra Leone, the oil, the iron from Guinea, if all these things are not utilized, are not tapped to, those economy will be down. That means the spread will also technically bring the economy down. But what head now bringing money to countries is that let them know how to sensitize their people and know how to check it. One thing that may check, I'm telling you that it will reduce the economic impact because that is the strength of the economy. Once economy is dead, there's no economy, there's no country again.
Now, this comes to our main topic of the day. What does Ebola got to do with economy of the nation?
Let me tell you, human being, like people say that in a company that human being is the assets of a company. So it is in economy. Anywhere is a human being. China today is waxing strong because of the population. Nigeria is in the giant of Africa because of our population. If today Nigeria is affected with Ebola virus, something that it will scare many investors away from Nigeria. All these countries that have been affected to that, I'm telling you, foreigners will not have express investment in those countries again. Even visiting them, it will go a long way to keep them apart until this thing is solved before you see foreigners coming to invest in such country. But let me tell you, direct investment means coming to invest, building your factory in an economy. But if with such spread now, no right-thinking white man will come to Liberia to come and build a factory now. One, what is the nature of your business? The business has to be with human being. And now they're trying to curtail it. That means even movement of human being within the country is restricted. Because if you're affected, the way you should not enter, that means your business and the economy will be affected. Even the government tax will be affected. Government revenue, even their GDP will be affected. A lot of damage will be done to this economy. Where any economy where this Ebola virus enter, it's going to affect the whole economy. Why? If the human being is the root of all the economic activities, and if human being is the one being affected by Ebola virus, that means the economy of that country will be grounded.
Now, in financial markets, we have the money markets, stock markets, and of course, some other forms of investment. Also, it's also important to also note that in some of these financial markets, you do not need your presence to be there. Your money have to work for you. In that case, how do we relate it to the current fear that is making the rounds?
Let me tell you, if I have a business, a bank give me a loan to run my business, and fortunately, not me, somebody possibly catch a virus, and the person is unable to service his debt, I'm telling you, that bank will record high turnover of non-performing loan. It's going to affect that banking sector. And also, again, capital flight. Those that are rich in the economy will move their money out of the economy to go and reside in another country. That means money will leave that country to another country. That means the banking sector of that company or the financial sector will be affected because of Ebola. Why? As I said earlier, the man we have given money to go and invest, unable to manage the investment because of his illness. Or the one I wanted to come and even collect because it's not healthy, he won't come and collect. Even if you are investing in agriculture, where you know that is the center of their economic activities, because of the virus, they are unable to produce, to meet the targeted output that will give them return to pay your loan. It's going to affect the banking sector. Ebola is not only the health issue; it goes around all the facets of the economy of the economy, because moving from human being to investment is going to affect. Why? Because human being is involved, and as well, human being is the custodian of finance. We are the one that money don't control money. It's women that control the money. That means if I have a shop today now, as I said, I have a shop today, and finally the person catch virus, that shop won't run. And if I borrow money from any microfinance, it won't pay. This impact is going to affect banking. No matter how they see it, the banks will be hit with Ebola virus in this affected economy, because many of them that have borrowed money will be able to pay back, and that will not increase non-performing, as I've said earlier.
All right, that looks that I'm sure a lot of people now understand. But quickly, Liberia now they've placed restrictions for coverage. They've said that the press generally they should reduce the coverage of Ebola virus to the international community, and I think it has to do with the investment of the country, because it was reported some time ago that some business owners, some international business owners, are now taking the business out of the country to some other places. Now, do you think covering the coverage of Ebola, like exposing some certain things there, would really help the situation?
Like we always say that media has a lot of impact or hype that people will listen to, but our advice is that reducing the coverage will go a long way for Guinea government or Liberia government to manage their internal structure as regard the. But if anything happens exposed to the war, I'm telling you that even the government will be confused which way we look go. But if you know that these things that are happening is not open to the war, if you know how to, like our own, let's say when it came to Nigeria, yes, we didn't stop the media not to the board. Our government took proactive action and will see the impact. Also, they are trying their best because the rate of the average is high. That is why in such countries they are unable to control it enough. But I believe now that health institutions are now other countries are now investing to control their thing. But let's give them time before the end of the year or first quarter of 2015. We have seen the outcome of the impact of all the donors. U.S. sending the troops to go and train medical workers in all this country. Let's say the impact at the end of, let's say, first quarter of 2015.
Now, there have been fears that even people that are supposed to come with foreign aids are also afraid of going to some certain parts of the country. And also, on this program, we are more interested in the investments and, of course, GDPs and the economy of countries. But for some of these countries moving from a particular country to another because of the fear of contracting the virus, don't you think that there should have been another way of measuring some, of probably staying put to, work out, help the government? Because, of course, they make money from the country. They should be part of the process of helping the government to fight the virus.
All they need at this point is for them to protect their capital. Every investor is to protect his or capital.
But then the country is a platform.
I pity that a good investor should not be thinking of profit all time, but think of let my capital be protected so that when opportunity comes, you can always plan. Oh, for example, now, as you just said, the International Monetary Fund, at the beginning of the year, projected that this economy, before this incident, that one of them will be having a GDP of 11 point something, the other one 8 point. But as at August, they downgraded them to 8, 5, and 2%. That is that they've seen that many investments will naturally leave these countries. That's why they've downgraded the forecast. That is that a serious businessman in such countries, one, will move investment out of the country because it's going to affect it. If you remain there, it's going to affect your business. Especially, no foreigners are bringing money to that country again, and their neighbors are building fence around them, no movement into the country. Do you know the part of trade in any economic GDP? If you measure, you know that it has a lot of input. Especially if those are agricultural farmers, agricultural economy, how do they export their product to make sales? I mean, everything will die, and that's why their GDP have been downgraded down to where it is now because there is closed off border. There is no interaction. That is why today we have free trade, we have international trade. That international trade is not just because we want to go to US, no. But currency coming from US to any country will also boost activity in that country. That is why free trade and international trade is a good thing for any country. But because of this virus, I'm telling you, naturally, many foreign investors will sit on the fence, not coming to this country, and it's going to affect their economic activities and development.
All right, of course, no doubt about that. But at this point, we'll go for a very quick break. When we come back, we'll be looking at how long will it take for these countries affected with the Ebola virus to really regain the stability in the economy, and as well, what can they really do, as a matter of fact, to stabilize the economy, hoping that the virus will be contained very soon, but that will be coming after this time. Stay with us.
One continent, 54 countries, over 2,000 languages, but united with similar interests. As news breaks, we give you in-depth analysis around Africa every Monday on Core TV News.
A very big thanks for staying with us. You're still watching Around Africa on Core TV News. And of course, on the program today, we'll be looking at the economic effects to the affected countries of the Ebola virus. And of course, on the first half of the show, we've looked at a lot of things. But at this point, I'm still with BROWNSON. Which of the economic sectors are likely to be affected with the outbreak?
No, it's not only just, I would say, majorly two sectors. One, the agricultural sector and investment.
The agricultural sector?
Yeah.
Why agriculture?
Why? No, I said these days, this is the sector that is production that will support the economy. Everybody's preaching food security. Now that there's sickness outbreak in that economy, how would they be active in production? Despite there is even no mechanized agricultural farming system. And also, the output at this point will be very low. That is one. 2, investment. As I told you earlier in the part of the the other session, that there will capital flight. Capital flight is definitely at this point. Why capital flight? The rich guys in this economy, at the same time, the foreign investor will be pulling out their fund. Why those that are rich are leaving the economy and the country to go and reside in another place, moving their fund to that place they are residing for other businesses. Why? Because their country is being affected by Ebola virus. These are 2 areas I know that are going to hit hard on any economy that has been affected by Ebola at this point. But for the time it will take them to recover from this, I said earlier in the other part of the program that between now and the first quarter of 2015, let's see the impact of the troop the U.S. is sending to these affected countries to train their health workers, and also let's see the impact of the money that was set World Health Organization also releasing to these countries to boost the measure to control the spread of the virus. If we can see the impact of this, I say that it will reduce the longer time they will wait for them to recover economically. Because I'm telling you, the GDP of these countries is on the down move. It's already dwindling. Why is it doing that? Because a lot of activities are slowed down. Because it's slowed down, for what will boost the GDP is not there again until another life comes back to this economy. But at the end of first quarter of 2015, if we have seen the impact of the investments or the aid the US and the World Health are giving, China and the other countries are giving to this affected country, if they're able to utilize it very well and manage it, judiciously, and see results, I'm telling you that it won't take a longer time. But my fear is that since this virus is now spreading, it's becoming a global thing. Oh, but I know that all those advanced countries can easily curtail it because of their improved health system and also the kind of economy they are running. But for Africa country, if care is not taken, they're going to sink these 3 countries as to speak. But I believe with this aid that have been stretched out to them, that there will be a revival in their economy after first quarter of 2015. We want to use this to see. Let's start hearing a positive result that, so number of people have been cured and the outbreak is not spreading wide in this affected country. As we speak now, there's still currently more casualty about this virus in all this country. But when we're saying that it has started reducing, that people that are now coming out, undergoing treatment, getting better, now outnumber those that have been contracted disease of newly, those that are falling in, that will not give you another insight of how long it will take. But to me, I'm giving to now and the first quarter of 2015 to see the impact of the aid US and the World Organization is stressing out to this country.
Okay, of course, you mentioned just 2 sectors, but another sector that analysts have predicted might suffer from it is tourism, because airlines such as British Airways, Emirates, Air France, Sky Airlines, and Arik Air have implemented some bans of flights to and from some of the most affected countries.
It depends. If these countries we are measuring are tourist countries, that is going to affect their tourist sector. Are these tourist countries? In Africa, I know that the most country that people go for tourists is South Africa. I don't know of Liberia, how tourists inclined they are. I don't know out of Guinea. But I know that in Africa, when you see any white man thinking of tourism, they all reside in South Africa for the world. If actually it's going to affect the tourist sector, I agree with you. But I know the area is going to hit is this financial sector. If at a time all the people in that country try to withdraw their money from the banks, what will the bank run? What will the economy run with? That's why I said if the financial sector and the agriculture are going to hit most. But as you added tourism, fine. But I prefer that. I'm thinking that the most area will be finance, like investment, the financial sector, and the agriculture.
Now, what about mining and investment? The mining sector.
The mining sector, good, fine. Well, like let's say for Guinea, and which I told you that the GDP of this country will drop. Mining will also support the GDP. Mining is part of agriculture. If you look at it properly, let's say agriculture sector is going to be affected. Which mining is part of it? Mining will be affected because people will not be interested to go and mine because of their heads.
So how long now will it take how long will it take a country suffering some of this setback to really stabilize again? How long will it take? 2 years, 3 years, 5 years?
I say we can't really give date now. I said let's watch between now and first quarter of 2015. Let's see the impact now. I think they are trading many of their head workers, and money is there now for them to put some quarantine centers in different area of the economy. I tell you that let's see the impact of this between now. Then we'll now say okay, in the next 2 years. Fine, but for now we can't give you because we are still recording new cases in these countries. new cases of Ebola outbreak in this country, then you can't say this is the end. You now say, let's see the impact of the measure the World Health is using their fund to put. US sending their troops, China sending, is it Cuba to sending, all of them trying to help this African country. Let's see the impact first before we now give. You can't give them because they're just coming in to this country to extend their helping hand. You can't just give 2 years now. Well, the rate that the people they are training will go out to implement what they have learned. Even the health worker will not tell us how long it will take. You can't just for now give that it will take the next 5 years or 3 years.
But for an expert, for every country that suffered downtrend in their economy, how long does it take a normal country to get back to stability?
When you say down economy, we know that apparently for many I'm coming capital market. When a market has rallied for 5 years, expect also another 5 years to go down. We call it correction stages. Like in 2008 we had major meltdown. 2014, people are not saying that it's likely to be another meltdown for 2015. And you can see this thing, but that is for investment cycle. No, this is not for Ebola's case for you to say it will take another 5 years or another 2 years. That's why I say we want to see the impact of these health workers that have been sent to these countries to train their health workers. Will not tell us, well, we can't say the next 2 years, now the next 3 years, because this is not really an economic issue. This is going to be a health issue that has negative impact on the economy. Fine. If not that people are moving out their funds from this country because of health reasons. For example, now, I learned one of the musicians or entertainers, his account was in one of the African countries. For him not to catch Ebola, he came with something to to protect himself. Even when he was thinking, don't want to shake anybody, just that this guy is very cautious of, I don't want to catch Ebola from my people, no, from this country. So people, no white man or foreign investor will bring fund for investment now until the whole mess is clear.
And that will take a lot of time.
The time now, I say, let's see the impact, because they're sending almost many troops from US, almost 3,000 troops to go and train their health workers. Which, if they do that in Africa, if they implement, also funds are available for them to implement. I think it might not take up to 2 years or 3 years. Only that they spread, my fear that the thing is still spreading, even to other countries or even the globe. But I know that for like US, they can curtail it because they have experienced health workers over there. I think those work can curtail theirs. But for this African country, let's see the impact of the training they are getting from those experts that are coming from other countries to see how they can boost the health sector of this economy. Because when everything is set, I'm telling you that you see there's a move.
Thank you very much, Ambrose, for coming on the program.
You are welcome.
That's how far we can go on the program today around Africa. We'll be back again next week with another bomber episode. Don't miss it. My name is BROWNSON, UNWANA from my production crew. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.
54 countries, over 2,000 languages, but united with similar interests. As news breaks, we give you in-depth analysis around Africa every Monday on Core TV News.